up, guys? LocsNLoad reviews here today. So, in the non-typical gun rant fashion, I wrote down some notes. And so today's video, instead of me just kind of talking about how I feel, I want to give y'all some to educate you, right? Teach you a little bit. So today's video is the effects of adrenaline and endorphins on the body and other effects that may come with a self-defense shooting. So first, what is adrenaline? Adrenaline is basically increases the blood, oxygen, and glucose flow into your muscles. It's like, if you watch Fast and Furious, it's like hitting the nitrous button for your body. Right? It gives you that little extra boost. So if you gotta lift something heavy or you gotta run a little bit faster, that's where adrenaline will come in and helps your body. Now, endorphins. Endorphins is your body's way of dealing with pain. It helps you, it's elevated pain threshold. But let's say you stub your toe, it's the thing that kind of helps dampen that pain, so it doesn't hurt as much. And if you need to continue to run or fight, you can do so, right? So understand those two effects that happen on the body when you're under high stress, self-defense, you're just angry, stuff like that. Things that get you going. All right, so someone under adrenaline, what is that like? Well, a calm, normal person like how we are now, no, not stressed, blood's flowing normally. Now, somebody who has high adrenaline, let's say, you're getting shot at, or you're getting self-defense shooting, you're getting shot at. A lot of times you'll lose that manual dexterity in your fingers, that fine motor skills. Those would rapidly deteriorate. So if you ever watch like a horror movie and you see people, they try to run, but for some reason they just, and they just fall and just crawl because they can't get up and run. That's basically when the adrenaline is coursing through your body so high that your fine motor skills, your dexterity is being affected. Right? You're under such stress and fear that your legs basically just lock up, you can't run. Right? Same thing for shootings, those little fine motor skills, trying to hit a button to pull the gun out of your holster, you may have some trouble with that, especially if you're untrained. This really affects untrained people, which is why we train for muscle memory. So your body just does it without even thinking about it. But that's the effects of adrenaline. Like I said, endorphins, the elevated pain threshold. You'll see people like who got shot and they'll just take off running like nothing ever happened. That's basically the endorphins taking effect. They'll feel it later on, but as of right now, the body's cutting off the pain notifications and just saying, hey, get up out of here, or you're in this threat. And then after that, we'll deal with the pain. And so that's what your body's doing. Is your body's survival reflexes kicking in, saying, hey, fuck what happened here, focus on this. So that's the layman's term of adrenaline and endorphins. Adrenaline gives your body that boost it needs, and endorphins helps you mitigate the pain. All right. So the effects of a self-defense shooting. What are some effects you can find yourself in? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 6 major categories. There might be others, but there's 6 major ones, at least in the USCCA curriculum, that we talk about. First, like I just said, affects your manual dexterity. Trying to walk, run, grab things, manipulate things with your fingers. It may be affected. You might not have the fine motor skills. You might not be able to grip what you need to grip, or hold on to what you need to hold on, even run the way you need to run, depending on the level of stress that your body is going through at that time. All right. So next, tunnel vision and heightened sense of clarity. Tunnel vision is very self-explanatory. You got your field of view, so looking forward, you can see stuff on your left and right, your peripherals. But when you're so focused, let's say if someone with a firearm, like they're coming at you with a knife, you are dead set on that person and the knife, right? So everything from your peripherals closes in to give your body a heightened focus. All right, so now your tunnel vision on this person, and everything's gone from 1080p to 4K. Right, that's where the heightened vision clarity comes into play. So you got tunnel vision and heightened sense of clarity. All right, tunnel vision, your vision is just tunneled. You're focused on a specific area. the guy with the knife, or the knife itself, or just the guy's face. You're just focused on that. And that's dangerous because, again, in the environments we live in, it's very dynamic, right? And it's not always just you and that person. It could be someone behind him or a crowd of people, right? But someone with tunnel vision may not see those people or what's going on behind them. And so, you know, they go out to draw and they're just looking at that guy, and someone crosses in their path because they're not seeing through their peripherals, right? Because everything's tunnel vision. They draw down that suspect, fire that shot, and somebody walks in front of that suspect and gets hit, or they don't see the person behind the suspect and that person gets hit, all right? That's tunnel vision. Heightened sense of clarity, like I said, everything goes from 1080p to 4K, right? You know, it goes from just a figure to like a bearded man with a messed up mustache, 5 o'clock shadow, gray balding hair, right? You see what I mean? Things are clear. All right, so that's tunnel vision and heightened sense of clarity. All right, next you might encounter is called auditory exclusion. Auditory exclusion, basically your brain cuts off certain auditory sensories to help you focus on the task. You know, if you're going to shoot someone, a loud gunshot can be very distracting and disorienting. So your body will basically take your hearing, cut it in half, and so instead of like a loud flah, it's just like a boom, 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 right? So you can focus on the task at hand, which is trying to get you to survive, right? Auditory exclusion, that can also happen like when I was going hunting. You know, I had my SOCOM 16 308. You know, I was hella focused on the deer because it kept moving around and stopping. I was trying to get a good line of fire between the trees because there's trees in the way, and trying to get a good line of fire. So no, I was focused. My adrenaline was rushing, and so, you know, when I finally got him to a spot where he was in the open and clear and he stopped, you know, when I pulled that trigger, instead of like the loudest bang I've ever heard because I didn't have ear pro on, it was just more of like a dull boom, right? And my ears wasn't even ringing. No. No, Keith, who's right next to me, his ears was ringing, but mine wasn't. And I was the one who shot the gun. So that's auditory exclusion right there. When your body is so damn focused on a specific task, or again, in this case, shooting that deer, that certain sensories get cut off, basically. So instead of 100% of hearing, we're gonna go with 40% of hearing, and we'll go with 150% visual clarity. See what I mean? Next, slow motion. Things move slowly when you're getting heightened sense of focus. You know, when adrenaline and stress starts going in the body, it starts doing weird things to the body. It's like opening like an alternate reality of some sorts, right? You know, your vision gets clear. You can't operate your hands and feet like you want to. You know, you can't hear things, or you can hear better than normal. Your vision is slowing down, slow motion. So instead of like somebody just running up on you real fast, it's more of like like that type shit. And you know, and you're slowly, right? So slow motion, you know, it's just your body again doing things to help you survive, right? So slowing things down to help you figure out what to do. So slow motion is again another side effect. Also, it was not really talked about on here, but the opposite of slow motion, fast motion. Things speed up. Things get faster than I guess they normally seem. That's also an effect too. So things can slow down or things can speed up, depending on how, you know, your body responds to this level of adrenaline, endorphins, and stress going on. Next, loss of memory. It's very easy for people to be so stressed and fear, like encompassed by fear, that they kind of just black out. You know, right? Someone just kind of comes in the door, boom, and they just, next thing you know, they're just standing there with a gun in their hand and the suspect's on the floor bleeding. And they don't know how they got the gun, where they got the gun from, how long the encounter took. They just know something happened, and now they're standing here over this guy with a gun and he's bleeding on their floor, right? Loss of memory. It happens a lot of times. I've heard, you know, loss of memory, slow motion, auditory. Pretty much all these I've heard, you know, from people being in self-defense shootings, whether it be military, police, security, civilian. A lot of these traits happen. Loss of memory, you know. Again, people respond differently to self-defense or, you know, stressful situations. False memories. Now, this was kind of surprising to me when I was going through a course and learned about this, because they were talking about all these were really rated from police shootings, right? So they took like a number of police shootings, you know, like said, okay, what happened to you in this? Oh, I couldn't feel my fingers. All right, manual dexterity. I felt like I was hyper focused. I could see him, just his face, none of his face. All right, tunnel vision, high sense of clarity. Yeah, I fired 10 rounds, but I honestly thought I fired 2. It sounded like I fired 2 or 3 rounds. You know, auditory exclusion. You know, hey, he was coming at me and it was slow motion. I could see everything happen right before my eyes, you know, slow motion, or things just happen so fast, you know, things speed up. Loss of memory. You know, I don't know. I responded to the call, came around the corner, and he was there, and I don't know. I was standing over him and I shot him. False memories. Where people thought something happened that didn't happen, right? Or like we hear a lot of times in police shootings, you know, unfortunately involving, I don't want to get on tip, but, you know, involving African Americans. You know, I thought he had a gun. False memories. You know, it turned out to be a cell phone, or it turned out to be like a hairbrush, something like that. You know, false memories. Like in their mind, for some reason, their adrenaline is already kind of kicked up, and so they're already kind of on 10. And so like a quick motion, oh yeah, and they just see, you know, black figure like this come up, and they're already in their head like, okay, he's a suspect, he might have what the fuck, whatever it might be. But for some reason, they mistook the situation for what it was, and, you know, someone got shot, and now they either don't remember, or what they remembered is not true. He pulled a gun on me. Well, sir, we searched his body. There was no firearm found. The only thing he had in his hand was a cell phone. Right? So that's my little gun rant, and that's the effects of adrenaline and endorphins and other effects that you may encounter during self-defense shooting. Now, this is not all-encompassing. This is just really what we've seen majority of from documented self-defense shootings. You know, so take into account, you know, everything I said, just something to give you guys, you know, educate you guys with. I don't like always talking about my feelings, how I feel about this, or black and white this, or let's talk about Glock or AK. You know, I want to educate you guys, give you something you probably didn't know, right? So most gun channels are not talking about, you know, the effects of adrenaline and endorphins on the human body and what you may encounter during a self-defense situation. So hopefully with this video, if you find yourself in that situation and you find yourself going through one of these effects, you know, don't panic. Understand this is normal, this is natural, this is your body's response to a stressful situation. Your body is trying to help you survive, right? So this is why, you know, all these things are going on. And so hopefully this video helps educate you and just gives you a little bit of coin in your knowledge bucket. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay dangerous. LocsNLoad out.